such a rare occurrence.
What? It was too quiet.
Oh.
I'm like, what's going on?
I thought something
I thought the wasp flew by.
Yeah.
That very well could happen.
There's a reason silence
So,
is treasure.
Sarah,
Yes.
are we adding this anywhere?
It's already in there.
Okay.
Those are just additional documents, because
Okay.
I didn't have a copy of the actual resolution. But there's a memo in there.
Yeah.
Where's it at?
10C.
It's,
item 10C.
it's, 10C, my dear.
Didn't you read your packet?
It's right here. I got it right here.
It's getting spicy.
Well, no.
I like spicy.
I used to like you. Gloves are off.
I hope you're talking to her, not me.
7 o'clock. We're done talking. Okay, 7 o'clock, like call meeting to order. Roll call.
Barlow.
Here.
Bergeron.
Here.
Brem.
Here.
Devroy.
Here.
McLean.
Here.
Rezegi.
Here.
Rocha.
Here.
Stenzel-Barton.
Here.
Tassava.
Here. Please rise for the pledge. Please remove your hat. Oh, it goes off. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody get a chance to look at the agenda? Any
Yes.
additions or corrections?
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda as written.
Support.
Okay, motion by McLean, supported by Rocha, to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. In your packet, you have the minutes of the June 9th, 2025 regular meeting. Any additions or corrections to that? Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve. Support the minutes.
Okay, motion by McLean, supported by Deb Roy, to approve the minutes of the June 9th, 2025 regular meeting minutes as presented. No discussion, roll call.
Devroy.
Yes.
Rocha.
Yes.
Stenzel-Barton.
Yes?
Bergeron.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Barlow.
Yes.
Brem.
Yes.
Rezegi.
Here. Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Public hearing, we have none. Public comment. At this time, anybody like to get up and speak? I'll give you 3 minutes. Tell me who you are. Anybody? Okay, formal recognitions and presentations. Dave Hatfield's at I think he's at what's he at tonight?
Planning Commission.
Planning Commission meeting with the county, so he's not here tonight. Items for action by unanimous consent. Motion to approve the city manager's appointment of Dale Boulder as acting manager from July 6th through 13th, 2025. Do I hear a motion?
I move to make that happen, Your Honor.
Support.
Okay, motion by Stenzel-Barton, supported by McLean. Any discussion?
One question. Do you know how to say no? She told us that she has been teaching you how to say it. Are you?
I didn't say I had to teach him.
Stay the course, sir.
There you go.
Okay.
You'll do fine, Chief, for sure.
Any other comments? Roll call.
Rezegi.
Yes.
Bergeron.
Yes.
Devroy.
Yes.
Stenzel-Barton.
Yes.
Rocha.
Yes.
Barlow.
Yes.
Brem.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Okay, items of business. In your packet, you have resolutions 2025-17 to update fees for various city services. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve that, Mr. Mayor.
I will support him.
Okay, motion by Rocha, supported by Stenzel-Barton, to adopt resolution 2025-17 to update fees for various city services. Questions? Comments? Okay, roll call.
Bergeron.
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes?
Barlow,
Yes.
Deveroy,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Okay, item B, motion to adopt resolution 2025-18 to amend the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget. Everybody get a chance to look at that. Do I hear a motion to adopt resolution 2025-18?
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
Support.
Okay, motion by Stenzelbarton, supported by Deveroy, to adopt resolution 2025-18 to amend the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget. Questions? Roll call.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Deveroy,
Yes.
Bergeron,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Okay, item 10C, motion to adopt resolution 2025-19 to exercise the city's first right of refusal for tax foreclosure property at 133 East State Street.
I'll make the motion to adopt that resolution for 133 East State Street.
Okay, I have a motion by McLean. Do I hear support?
Support.
Okay, motion by McLean, supported by Deveroy to adopt resolution 2025-19 to exercise the city's right of refusal for the tax foreclosed property at 133 East State Street. Questions? Go ahead.
I need this explained to me. I've heard of first right of refusal. I don't know what it means.
Okay, so basically it means that because it's in tax foreclosure, we have the first choice to purchase the property at either the minimum bid or twice the SEV, depending on if there's claimants, before it goes to auction.
Sounds simple enough. Thank you.
It sounds more complicated than it is.
First right of refusal, I couldn't figure it out. Thank you. That was
Any other
it.
questions? Okay, we have motion by McLean, supported by Deveroy, to adopt resolution 2025-19 to exercise the city's first right of refusal for tax foreclosure property at 133 State Street. No further comments? Roll call.
Barlow,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes?
Bergeron,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Deveroy,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Item D, motion to authorize the execution of the temporary construction and permanent utility easement agreement with MEI as presented. Is there a motion to
This-
approve?
I apologize. This was intended to be corrected to match the recommended action in the memorandum. It's not as presented. It should be upon final review by the city attorney. There were some modifications that the attorney made that I gave you a red line version. There's just a few minor verbiage tweaks.
So you want the motion to read, to authorize the execution of temporary construction upon city attorney's final review?
Correct.
Okay, I will make the motion to authorize the execution of the temporary construction and permanent utility easement agreement with MEI as presented. Oh, no. With MEI upon
Review.
final review from the city attorney.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion by McLean.
Support.
Who supports? He's been so quiet, I didn't recognize his voice. Motion by McLean, supported by Rezegi, to authorize the execution of temporary construction and permanent utility easement agreement with MEI upon review of city attorney. Is that right?
Yes, that is right.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I have a question. Is MEI the sole business that's allowed to use that easement?
This particular easement, it's not an exclusive easement. So
Okay.
this document will be just for MEI in this area, but there's other utilities that also have easements in at least a portion of the same described area.
Any other questions? Roll call.
Brem,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Devroy,
Yes.
Bergeron,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Item E, motion to approve under direction of staff, Trumbull Insurance Agency to conduct the annual back-to-school bash, which includes use of Pocket Park adjacent to Thornapple Plaza from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday, August 2nd, 2025.
I'll make that motion, sir.
And I'll support it.
Motion by Barlow, supported by Rocha, to approve under direction of staff, Trumbull Insurance Agency to conduct the annual back-to-school bash, which includes use of the Pocket Park adjacent to the Thornapple Plaza from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday, August 2nd, 2025. Discussion.
Just a comment, that last year was a phenomenal event. I mean, it was just so awesome to see so many kids get everything that they needed to. I think they had more people show up than they had anticipated. It was really, really cool. It's really, really awesome.
They
to
gave
see.
a lot of backpacks away.
Yes, they did. They did.
Okay, so we have a motion by Barlow, supported by Rocha. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Bergeron,
Yes.
Devroy,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Item F, entertain a motion to agree in principle to the general terms of the 425 agreement with Rutland Township to include agreement for Myers property tax ID number 13-014-028-00 with similar revenue sharing as previous 425 agreements between the parties. Retainage of the existing sewer agreement and a new water agreement to include provisions of service for Meyer only. Do I hear a motion to approve?
that motion, Your Honor.
Support.
Okay, motion by Rezegi, supported by McLean, to adopt an agreement in principle to the general terms of the 425 agreement with Rutland Township to include an agreement for the Meyer property tax ID number 13-014-028-00 with similar revenue sharing terms as previous 425 agreements between the parties, and retainage of the existing sewer agreement and a new water agreement to include provision of service for Myers only. Discussion.
Yep. Mr. Mayor, am I reading this correct, Sarah, that you guys had met and there looks like there's a general overall agreement on this 425 with the exception of some small things going forward, and then this motion and acceptance of this motion would be to go back to the table and saying the council approves of this generality. Are we good to go? Is that a fair assessment of this?
Yes, and then the attorneys will work on the
Okay.
documents and we'll
So
iron out.
So
some of
Rutland
them.
seems to be okay with,
Their negotiating team is. We'll see what the board says, but I think it's quite positive.
thank you.
Any other questions? So I wanna, one of the reasons we brought this tonight, because we wanna show Rutland Township that, we're willing to work with them. And I thought, I was in negotiations with Sarah and Dan, I thought they went great. You know, we, agreed on pretty much everything, you know, so.
That's good.
So I think it's gonna be a good deal for everybody.
Is that a lot further than you guys have been before then, right? In terms of negotiating, you guys have gotten this last meeting?
It's
Definitely
the
seems
first
like-
time we've
Good.
had something that I feel like we both sides agree on.
Good.
Okay, any other questions? Roll call.
McLean,
Yes.
Bergeron,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes.
Devroy,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Okay, in your packet, item G, motion to approve the construction and design of a new 48 by 60 fabric structure salt storage facility with steel frame to Clear Heights Construction in the amount of $275,304. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
Okay, motion by Stenzelbarton, do I hear a
Support.
Okay, motion by Stenzelbarton, supported by Devroy, to approve the construction and design of a new 48 by 60 fabric structure salt storage facility with steel frame to Clear Heights Construction in the amount of $275,304. Discussion.
I had a question on
Go
this. I saw that in one of their general terms, it stated that it was FOB, and I read that as we had to pay to get the stuff here for them to build this? Tell me if I'm wrong, because FOB is freight on board. That means it's your stuff as soon as it goes to the truck. Or what's that? I had that somewhere.
I'll have to check on that, but I don't think, the way he was talking, once we get the contract and stuff signed, that he would get the stuff ordered, but I can check tomorrow.
Okay.
Find out what his.
Because that, I mean, as far as I know, FOB it's our stuff and we gotta pay to get it. That would be highly unusual if you're paying somebody to build something that they would charge you to get the stuff there.
Yeah, it's under 2B on that first page.
Yeah.
FOB site, all fees and permits are the responsibility of the contractee.
And I think the other thing I saw that I questioned was, they're gonna build this thing, but it doesn't include outlets and lights and all that stuff? That's all
No,
separate?
generally, out there, I mean, we have some, gentlemen there that can do some wiring for lights and stuff. And usually when we're going in there, we got lights on the loaders and stuff where they don't
Yeah,
need
it's not a
lights on
big
the
deal.
inside.
Yeah.
And we'll be a matter of 25 feet, maybe 50 from the other building, to where we'll be able to run underground if it becomes necessary.
Okay.
We've never ever had lights in there because back in the day, they used to blow the salt in there, and all you do is bust the lights up.
Oh, yeah.
But and what are they doing now? They're dumping it in there. This thing is so high, they'll be able to back in there with their trucks and dump it in there. We might have to push it up in piles with loader, but I don't see that. But I didn't see that FOB on there either. But
I didn't either.
yeah.
I looked
But I didn't read every word. Maybe you should.
Well, there's not much to it. It just says freight
Yeah.
on board,
Yeah.
and that's generally what that is, so.
Do we know the estimated lifespan of this building construction?
Approximately about 30 years. 20-year warranty on the fabric, and I believe there's a 50-year warranty on the galvanized dip frame.
Oh, right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, the new building is almost gonna double what we currently have right now. Is there, and the ability to also store some equipment during the summer months, do you see any potential cost savings by buying a larger bulk, or protecting some of that equipment from the sun that normally we would have to go ahead and fix and repair because of other damages?
Yeah, right now, without totaling them up, I would say we probably have probably $200,000 worth of equipment that currently sits outside because I don't have anywhere to store it. In the wintertime or summertime, we try and store some extras inside the other building now as it is, but once with the round building, you can only do so much.
Right.
This will allow us to push some more up and actually put some more in there that we can protect our equipment some more for longer life.
Any other comments?
Yeah, so once I saw the small print, it does say FOB site, which would mean that it's our freight once they get it there, so I was all out of whack.
I'm glad you brought it up though, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to prove to you that I do actually read this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it does say also in the general sales conditions that the price of the product, installation, and freight.
Yeah.
Right.
So the price that they're quoting us includes
Right.
all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, any further comments? So we have a motion to approve, motion by Stensel Barton, supported by Deb Roy, to approve the construction and design of a new 48 by 60 fabric structure salt storage facility with steel frame to Clear Heights Construction in the amount of $275,304. No further comment, roll call.
Devereaux,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Bergeron,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Stensel Barton,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Okay, next item, item H, motion to approve the purchase and service work related to DO probes from Windemuller in the amount of $25,300 for the wastewater treatment plant. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
I'll support it.
Okay, a motion by Rezegi, supported by Brown, to approve the purchase and service work related to DO probes from Wyndham Moller in the amount of $25,300 for the wastewater treatment plant. We have Ford here. You want to tell us anything about this, Ford, or not?
Certainly. Currently, your facility has 6 aeration basins, which constitutes the secondary treatment process of the facility. And part of that process is compressing atmospheric air and introducing it to the basins. And the reason for that is to aid with the biomechanical process and supply the necessary oxygen for the microorganisms to break down the organic matter that's in the sewage. And it's kind of a critical thing that you have to maintain a certain level that's not too low, which generally is 3 parts per million, and not too high, 6 parts per million. So it's a very fine line we have to walk to maintain that. Currently, we have 2 DO probes. One is for basin number 1 and number 2, and the others are basin number 3 and number 4. Number 5 and number 6, which are the furthest to the north toward the dog park, have no such provision. And currently we are using 3 of the 6 basins. So we're operating number 6 right now. Number 5 is out of service. And this will provide us the ability to further monitor those dissolved oxygen levels without having to have an operator go out there twice a day at this time of year and manually measure those dissolved oxygen levels. And it will also give us a continuous indication of those dissolved oxygen levels. And in weather like this, that's not a pleasant task to go out there and do that twice a day.
What's DO actually stand for?
Dissolved oxygen.
Okay, okay. You probably said that, I just didn't catch it.
And yes, and these type of probes are technically called LDO probes, luminescent dissolved oxygen. They're basically using a fluorescent or ultraviolet light to detect the oxygen levels that's in the biomass that's in the aerated basins.
Okay. Anybody have any questions of Ford?
Not of Ford directly. 40,000 has been budgeted already, and we're only spending 25.3. That's what I understand.
That's correct, but with our original estimate when we did the budget, we were expecting to be able to get more of them for the 40,000.
How many? We're getting 6?
We're getting,
There are
well,
currently 2.
1 and then prep for the other.
I see where I got the 6 from. All right, thank you.
So that was my question, Ford. If we're getting the stuff for Basin 5, why are we not having it hooked up? We don't need it yet.
Because it's out of service, it's
Okay.
pointless to have a probe in an out-of-service basin. And it's also a multi-purpose application where the probe for that basin we can have on the shelf so that if one of the other 3 go out on us, we have a replacement for them.
So we're using currently 6,
We're using 2, 4, and 6.
2, 4, and 6, okay.
Yes. 1, 3, and 5 are out of service.
Okay.
And that's due to the decreased flows that you are experiencing here in Hastings.
Yeah. And so that's a normal thing, so then you would switch over to use the odd numbers at some point in time?
Yes. My goal is on the preventative maintenance schedule in the coming year of 2026, then we'll switch over to 1, 3, and 5.
Okay.
And we'll be able to take down 2, 4, and 6, clean them, inspect them, and then put them in a standby or out of service mode.
So when it comes time to put these probes into these things, we have to hire that out? We don't do that with in-house people?
With this work, it'll be set up so that it's basically a plug and play. So say for instance, we had something come up with number 6 later on this summer that we had to take it out of service. We would be able to take and put the biomass from number 6 into number 5, put it in service, take the spare probe, put it on the installation, plug it in,
Okay.
and away we go.
Okay, good.
And then a probe on number 6 could be taken out, cleaned, and put on the shelf for standby.
So 5 actually works if we
Yes.
needed it today?
They all work.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was just assuming since we had to get an extra probe and it was just designated towards 5, I just assumed there was something wrong with number 5. But
Yeah, all basins are operational.
Okay.
It's just that, from a process control and treatment standpoint, I only need 3 irrigation basins to accomplish what we need to maintain the permit.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Ford.
Thank you.
Okay, again, we had a motion by Rezegi, supported by Brem, to approve the purchase of service work related to DO probes from Windemuller in the amount of $25,300 for the wastewater treatment plant. Any further comments? Roll call.
Rocha,
Yes.
Stensel Barton,
Yes.
Bergeron,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Devroy,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Item 11, staff presentations and policy discussion. Item A, proposed modification to the business ordinances, section 22-1 through 22-3. You want to talk about that, Sarah?
Sure. So we've been reviewing the section of our ordinance that pertains to businesses downtown. Well, most of it's related to downtown. There's a small section at the beginning about loading and unloading. That's a little bit outdated. And then there's a section regarding sidewalk displays and sidewalk cafes. So related to the, the primary reason why we wanted to bring this to your attention for consideration of modifying this ordinance is that we feel that it's important to promote outdoor activity. You know, we've invested a lot in the outdoor streetscape, and the local businesses are wanting to continue that energy and have signs and goods and flower pots and all sorts of different things that identify that their business is there and thriving and attract people to come in. And we feel that it's important to support that and promote that. But it's currently, a lot of that kind of activity is prohibited or significantly regulated by the ordinance. There are a lot of businesses that are technically doing things that are against the ordinance, even though many people would say that they're good things that are promoting activity downtown. We also wanted to modify the sidewalk cafe and dining platform permit section. The dining platforms were intended to be a type of an elevated platform, like a deck that would be adjacent to the curbside, near a property that had outdoor dining. I don't think anybody ever built one. Before COVID, this was sort of a thing that was circulating. They're fairly expensive to construct. So that, coupled with the fact that we now have quite a bit of shared public dining space and some wider sidewalks on the main stretch of downtown, we didn't feel that it was necessary to have this in here, especially when it's fairly specific as to its location and some of the regulations regarding that. So those are kind of our main proposals. I can walk through. I don't know if you guys had a chance to review this. If there's any specific questions or comments that you want to make at this time, we're not looking for, obviously, approval or anything at this point. It would have to go through our regular ordinance amendment process, but are we on the right track? Do you hate it? Any kind of useful feedback is welcome.
So anything at this point that they want to put on the sidewalk, they'd have to get approval from you first?
Well, from the council,
Oh, okay,
yes.
okay.
Other than sandwich board signs, because that is a part of
Okay.
our sign ordinance, but if someone wants to put anything they're selling outside, a rack of clothes, or even chairs and things, I mean, it's fairly restrictive.
Pretty restrictive.
Okay.
I saw at the bridal shop, they had a
Yep. They have a nice rack of clothes out there, and I think it looks great every day. It lets people know that they're open. It lets people know what kind of things they sell there, but it's technically not supported by our ordinance.
They had a function there last week.
Yes.
Either Thursday or Friday, and they had a
Wine.
coffee bar out there.
Mhm.
And they had couples there, I don't know if they were buying wedding dresses or, because they sell a lot of different things in there.
They do.
But there was people lined up on the sidewalk. They had a great turnout for that. I'm all in favor of this kind of stuff.
I think that's great.
You know, I still think if something is, you know, and I think we still need it where they can't restrict flow on the sidewalk.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
That was the only thing that concerned me, because I drove by there 4 times and saw that would restrict it. And don't get me wrong, I support this, as long as it doesn't become gaudy,
Sure.
Yeah.
tasteless, because, you know, then it's my yard.
Sure. Another thing that was in here that I wanted to get your feedback on, there were a couple of questions that we had. One was saying that notice needs to be given to adjacent property owners on both sides of the applicant's property before issuing a permit to occupy the right-of-way area between the street edge. Goodness, this is like a really long sentence. Basically, it's notifying the neighbors and getting their feedback before a permit's issued. I don't really understand the point of that, so my recommendation would be to remove that, unless somebody has significant opposition to that. And then Dan had asked about the possibility of expanding the permit period for sidewalk cafes. It's currently May 1st to November 1st. Do we want to start earlier, sometime in April? Is it fine the way it is?
Has someone asked for that to happen, or is that?
I don't think they have.
No one's asked, it's just that April 1st, you know, the weather can turn nice. Plus, generally, that's kind of the signal or the kickoff of spring break. So for the people who don't flock to Florida or some other warmer environments that are here, it would allow the restaurant owners to, you know, put that sidewalk furniture outside and hopefully help them increase some sales.
Yeah, that makes
During some
sense.
nice
Yeah, I
weather.
think that-
Well,
And
we
very
have-
Boubet,
We have
Roubaix as well.
fireplaces lit all year long.
Yeah.
So you would think that you could take that restriction out of there. I always think that spring starts with St. Patrick's Day. So
So we change it from April to November?
I like taking it out.
Obviously, if there's snow on the ground, they're not gonna wanna put stuff out
Well, that's
anyway.
true.
Right.
So,
You're right.
Maybe they have snow shovels they're gonna sell.
Unless they're selling
Quiet,
snow
you.
shovels.
So, is this something you're gonna modify and bring back to us?
Yep, we'll bring it back for a first reading and put it in traditional ordinance format.
Okay. Draft paid parental leave policy.
So a little bit ago, you guys said that you were interested in considering having a paid parental leave policy for employees at the city. So Vester did a lot of legwork into putting together a draft. Basically, this allows for employees who have been full-time for at least a year and work 35 or more hours a week, so they're full-time, to have access to this benefit. It would provide for 4 weeks of paid leave if there's a birth of a child or an adoption. It's fairly straightforward. It covers quite a bit. I didn't know if anybody had any questions or if this was reflective of what you guys were thinking of.
Yes,
There-
I will speak up. Yes, that's reflective of what I was thinking of. I just think it's a really good perk for our employees, and especially younger families, and, you know, we're trying to recruit people to work here and live here, and I just feel like that's a bonus and becoming standard, you know, throughout, I guess I should say, from my experience in the governmental industry.
Looks good to me.
All right.
The The only question I had, it says it runs, the parental leave benefits run concurrent with FMLA. So if they do use those 4 weeks, and you take 4 weeks off of the FMLA front load, is that correct?
Yeah, so FMLA is a 12-week period,
Right.
so this would still count as the first 4 weeks of the
FMLA.
12-week period.
Okay.
Makes me wanna have a baby.
Any other questions?
Go ahead.
Any other questions? So, what's the next step for this?
We'll clean this up a little bit and bring it back to you for approval.
Okay. City manager report.
Oh no, I left my sticky note. Oh no. I'm gonna have to remember this, guys. All right, so, all right. There was a progress meeting at the fish hatchery restrooms today. Unfortunately, it appears that whoever installed the HVAC system did so incorrectly. They're going to have to redo that. Right now, they are estimating that it'll be done by August 1st, but we'll see if they're able to hold that date given the setbacks. So our project management team is going to be checking in with them more frequently and making more site visits to help make sure that things don't get off track again, because this project is considerably behind. So that took place today. I had contact with the city of Lowell. They'd like to do a mayor exchange with us September. Let me pull up my calendar and then I'll remember. Since I don't have my sticky note, I don't have the dates written down. I want to say it's September 29th. For us to go to Lowell, and then October 6th for them to visit us here at the city. I don't believe that those dates are a conflict with anything going on with any conferences or anything like that. So unless somebody has some objection, I'd like to confirm those dates with the city so we can start planning and getting that on everybody's calendar. Do those sound suitable?
What exactly do you do for that?
Well, what happens, dignitaries, like, what'll happen, dignitaries from Lowell, that'll include the mayor, probably city manager, council members, their wives, department heads, they'll come to Hastings, they'll look at what we do. We've kind of, we're so close, and we've done it with them before, they know what to expect. We're gonna show off our streetscape, we're gonna show them all our artwork, and then we'll go over there. And the last time we went there, they had just built a fire department, so they have a lot of things happening over there all the time. A lot of the stuff, the same things, we share information. Some of the things, why we do things the way we do, and we learn from them, they learn from us. It's a great experience.
Awesome.
Anybody run for office, I'll go. Anyhow.
The last thing I wanted to remind everyone that the Tingletown rebuild project is up and running. If you haven't visited our website yet, please do. It's tingletownplayground.org. There's lots of information about the project on there, as well as the new design and information about how you can donate and or purchase a picket to support the project. I have given all of you 3 brochures. It's not because I can't count, it's because I would like for you to give 2 of them away to people you know, to friends or neighbors, people on service organizations or committees upon which you serve. Please help us share the word about the project and how we need volunteers and donations to support it. We're hoping to have funds raised by this fall so that we can schedule the build in the spring. We will need lots of volunteers. We need considerable financial support as well. So please help us spread the word with that. And unless, yes.
Do you have this electronically?
I do.
Would you send it to me?
I would be
please?
happy to.
Thank you. I'm posting it on various websites.
Yes, thank you.
Is this the actual proposed plan of what?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Is there any reason that they took out, like, the excavator things that the kids played on there?
So there's all different kinds of designs of that type of thing.
Okay.
So it's not gonna be the exact same as what is there, but similar types of individual play areas.
One thing you like is the right.
Yeah,
Me too.
love them.
One of my favorite.
Get her off it.
One of our favorite things, what this Tangletown, up there when my kids were younger, is the Nerf ball, throwing the Nerf football at each other as we're running around this.
Oh, yeah.
We would run till we're dead.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the good days.
They used to have a big wooden barrel up there the kids loved.
Yes.
But it got dangerous, we had to take it out.
Fingers would get broke.
Any
This
other
one and this
questions,
one.
Sarah? So I only have one question. They're saying the reason it's delayed is because of the HVAC.
That's not the reason why it's delayed.
I was gonna say,
That's
why
the
can't you-
latest
why can't you
delay
put a roof
that
on it?
we found. So the roof is supposed to start on Wednesday,
Which week?
this week. We'll see what happens, because it's also gonna
Drive by.
thunderstorm.
Well, I've been by there a lot.
You gotta get Copper Rock down there, they're cooking.
There we go, yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, any
So,
other questions of the
I'm
city
sure
manager?
they're committed to seeing the project through.
So would it be rude to ask where you're going on vacation?
I'm
Yeah.
going to the Northeast and Canada.
Okay. Fishing pole in hand?
No, there will be no fishing at any point on this trip.
Something in hand?
Okay.
Moving on.
In your packet, item A, you have Police Chief Boulder's monthly report. Dale, do you have anything to add?
Just real quick, sir. So yes, I will be on vacation. I'll be around till Wednesday. But anybody needs anything, they know how to get a hold of the deputy chief. State Street's back open. This guy right here knows everything about it. So everything's good. Just to reiterate with my report, Devin Shinaki, the new officer, has started. He's doing awesome. Just like with any new officer, a little geography stuff, but really anything other than that, he's doing great. So we're cooking along on the background for the other guy that's in my report. So we're currently at 12 for our numbers. We get the new sense of end, we'll be at 13. Still looking for other people. Also, what I really want to talk about though quickly is the crossing guards. As you noticed, I put in there a thank you. I mean, that's a tough job. I mean, the hours, the times they put in, and what they do for our kids across those kids both morning and night. We're in dire need for crossing guards. So if anybody knows anybody, it takes the right person because of the time frames. If anybody knows anybody that could fulfill this, have them get in contact with us. At least one position, possibly two, one for sure, as I listed. So I just elicit help from you guys. And then also July 12th, First Responders Day out. Hopefully everyone can be there. So thank you very much.
Good luck fishing, Dale.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions today before I let him sit down? Okay. Also in your packet, city clerk treasurer's financial reports in there. Anything to add, Linda?
No, just busy with, thank you for approving the budget amendment so we can wrap up this fiscal year, and I'm busy getting the new budget put into the system, so it's a lot of budgeting right now. Trying to keep track of which year I'm working on.
Any questions of Linda? Okay, also in your report, you have the Community Development Director, Dan King's monthly report. Anything to add, Dan?
No, just a reminder, I did send out another follow-up email on the fair booth sign-up. Fair starts January, or it's July 14th through the 19th. Perfect opportunity for community engagement. This year, with Tangletown, I believe Sarah's gonna be trying to solicit some volunteers to sit at the booth also to discuss the Tangletown project, so that'll be exciting for fair goers and to get that message out. So other than that, that's all I have unless there's questions.
Okay, also, sitting right over there, we have Rob Neal here tonight. In your packet, he has a street superintendent's monthly report. Anything to add, Rob?
Nothing at this time, sir.
Any questions of Rob?
I have a comment to him. Someone says, "Thank you very, very much. Her truck is not being destroyed on their road."
Yes.
One step at a time.
Had to.
She said thank you and told me to pass it on.
Okay, reports and communication. In your packet, you have the Planning Commission's meeting minutes of May 5th, 2025. And you also have the Riverside Cemetery Preservation Advisory Board's meeting minutes of June 11th, 2025. I entertain a motion to accept those two items placed on file.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
Support. Okay, motion by Stenzelbart, supported by Rezegi to accept items A and B and place on file. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Public comment. Go ahead. Tell us who you are and I'll give you 3 minutes. Are you a resident?
Yes, sir. I just moved in to Hastings approximately 3 years ago. So this is actually my first meeting. My question would be...
Give us your name, please.
Oh, sorry. Sandra Dunnuck. It's Dunnuck. And my one question is on the... Love having notes.
Can I just remind you of something before you go forward?
Sure.
This is a comment. I won't answer any questions.
Oh, okay.
But you can ask any question. It'll be addressed probably tomorrow by the
Okay.
manager. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
My comment would be on our city streets. Downtown looks beautiful, don't get me wrong, but some of these side streets still need some attention. I live on the corner of East Walnut and can't remember the side street right there, but we've got some major ditching and water holes in them and stuff like that, and it's pretty rough in that neighborhood.
That's it?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Anybody else? Mayor and council comment. Mike, any comment tonight?
No, but her comment does beg a question, if I can ask. What is the proper, or is this how you go about it? If you have streets in your area, your neighborhood that need some help, is this the way to do it, is to come here and
Well,
say, hey, we need some help on?
you can do it that way, you know.
What would be the other way?
We heard what she said.
No, I know, I wasn't
Now,
saying you didn't.
like I said, Tuesdays after our council meeting, the city manager and staff, they discuss anything talked about here. You know, we're well aware of the streets. When people come to the council, Rob's sitting right there, and I saw him write down, and he's gonna go probably tomorrow and look at that spot.
Perfect.
You know, because of all the other maintenance we're doing, mainly because of all these lead water services we're replacing. You know, I don't wanna come up to your house and put in a new road, and then come back next week and tear it out, cause I gotta put a new lead service in, or replace the lead service. So that's a lot of what goes on.
Okay.
You know, this doesn't fall on deaf ears. We hear everything that's said. But, any comments tonight, John?
No comment.
Ann?
I'd just like to comment on what a good job Rob is doing with, I mean, the list that he had, just, you know, seeing Woodlawn up there resurfaced, it's just, and I'm on that road a lot, so I really thank you. I know that your crew is working really hard, and I appreciate that.
Jackie, any comment?
Yeah, I actually have a question. So some time ago, I don't know how long ago it was, can somebody just clarify, if I make the motion, am I supposed to be reading what the motion is? Or am I just supposed to say, yeah, so moved?
Well, you can do that, because I'll repeat the motion anyhow.
Okay, but I thought at one time we were
Well,
supposed to.
we were doing that.
Yeah.
We were doing that, but,
So are we supposed to, or are we not supposed to? Or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
You can read the motion. You can make the motion, and you can make it word for what it says here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still gonna repeat it.
I know you are, but I thought we were required to actually say it,
Well,
so that's why I'm trying to clarify.
I think under Robert's Rules of Order, I'm supposed to repeat it, right?
Yeah, so for a while there was a lot of repeating. We had a few meetings where we'd say the same thing like 4 or 5 times, and it just kind of annoyed everybody, especially if the motion was kind of long. So we kind of settled back into what we're doing now, but
Okay.
you're not wrong
Okay.
No, you can
to
do
do it either way.
Okay, that's it. Have a great night, everybody.
Norman?
No.
Terry?
Yes. I was approached, and I am supposed to mention Berry County Friend of the Court, a person who works there. The person's name is Valerie, I don't know anything more. This person who asked me said she was suffering extreme anxiety, stress, she was crying, didn't know what to do, and a person, a friend of the court named Valerie, talked her through it because she was in a panic. So if anybody knows anybody named Valerie at Friend of the Court, can say she did a good job for somebody, as long as somebody knows about it. I don't know. I haven't worked with them in 15 years, but I thought it was important to make sure her name was known.
John?
Robert Rules' latest edition just says the motion has to be restated again before it's passed. So as long as there's a support for the motion, it must be restated before it's officially voted on. So that's doing it correct.
You're doing something right, huh?
Yeah. And it's a barn burner to read that book, by the way. And then I would not be remiss, just because it's not because I'm on Tangletown committee at all, or Parks and Rec committee, but it might be a really cool idea if this particular council pitched in and got a nice little plaque or something or
A
picket for Tangletown. Not saying anybody has to, but it'd be really cool to have the council. Yes.
Scan that, right?
That's right. That's all I got.
Okay, nothing else come for council, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Support, motion by McLean, supported by Rezegi, Rocha, anybody else?
I'm sure they're all.
Everybody. It's too hot. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Both same, we're adjourned. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
That's right, that's right.
So for a while, the mayor would read basically.
David, take good care of that
the
back.
mayor, and then someone would